Yes.
I know, just kidding.
Good morning.
Hello.
Happy Saturday. Happy 2 days after Thanksgiving. Judah, it's on the side over there. Judah, get in frame for just a second and don't worry about the light. Hello from myself, Amy, Ennis for nurse, and my kiddos. This is my daughter-in-law, Dakota.
That's a new one.
It was kind of a mix of Dakota and Judah, my oldest son.
Hello.
So we said we would come on live today. So if you're here, say hello in the comments and we will say hello back. We thought we would check in today and talk to you guys about our second week on the new Weight Watchers points plan. So this is week number 2 weigh-in. And then also just sort of a chat about likes and dislikes and all of that good stuff. So anyway, we all started on personal points.
Yes.
A month and a half ago.
Yes.
So 6 weeks ago, we started on personal points, which was the other Weight Watchers plan, the old one. And I found out recently from you guys, so thanks everybody for the info, that the personal points were calculated differently than the old smart points. So there was something different. I'm sure they just did different weights in the algorithm. So I know on smart points, we would get more credit for like proteins and that sort of thing. So like your proteins were lower in points. And it sounds like personal points took that a little bit farther. I'm not exactly sure how things are weighted in the algorithm to make the points. But apparently they are different. So when they updated the Weight Watchers plan this time, they're still using personal points and not smart points. So things are a little bit different from freestyle, which is what I thought we were kind of going back to freestyle. So good morning, Mary. Mary's here, Mary Vitro, our longtime friend and moderator. So Mary, it's so nice to see you over on the chat today. So if you're here, say hi, give me a thumbs up if you like videos about WW Weight Watchers. We're going to share our week 2 weigh-in. And then we also want to talk to you guys a little bit about what we're liking so far. Now, remember, we're only a couple weeks in. And we only did personal points. Now, back when personal points came out, I did it for a couple of months. But collectively, we only did personal points for a month before switching. And oh, you want to come say hi? We've also got the Hubster. Come say hi to the live. Give a thumbs up.
Just had to get my belt.
We're in my husband's office today, if you guys are wondering, because we thought this would be a little bit better in terms of talking to you guys. And plus, we are having horrible but kind of cool fall weather. So it has been raining and raining and raining.
It's been dark.
And dark.
It's
So
very
it's
dark.
very dark outside. So if you're wondering about the lighting, we have the overhead light on and we have 2 lights and it's still
Not enough.
basically it's like midnight here where we are. So okay, let's say hi to people in the comments and then we'll do some talking. So hi to Melissa and Leslie and Tracy and Brady and Jean. Good morning, everybody. Also, if you want to pop into the comments what plan you're currently doing, if you're doing Weight Watchers or something else. I have a lot of friends out there that are doing calorie, keto, old Weight Watcher plans. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, basically.
The possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are endless. Whatever you're doing and how it's going for you. Okay, so let's talk about weigh-in. I did a midweek weigh-in right before Thanksgiving, and then I weighed in yesterday. I am going to switch my weigh-in. So let's clarify weigh-in days, first of all, because we're all very confused right now.
Yes.
So I tried Friday weigh-ins, and what I found was because I was weighing in Friday morning and I got all my weeklies, Friday night for date night, I was just zooming through weeklies instead of going the whole week and kind of building up to Friday and having weeklies left for Friday, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I remember doing this in the past and I didn't like that feeling because then you start your week already having gone into your weeklies and it stresses me out a little bit and it makes me feel super restricted as opposed to going all week, saving weeklies, getting my activity in, and then on Friday night, date night, using some weeklies. So I think I use less weeklies when I do a Monday weigh-in. So hopefully that clarifies where I'm at with that. So I'm going to go back to those Monday weigh-ins. I think that worked better. In fact, one of my friends, Marjorie, hi, Marjorie, if you're out there. Marjorie is one of my friends that actually does, she weighs people in at meetings, and she's a wonderful friend of mine, been friends for a few years now. And I have several friends out there that work for Weight Watchers at all different levels. And so they often will message me and send me great information and inspiring encouragement. But when I switched my weigh-in back to Friday, she was like, you may not want to do that. She's like, that might mess you up. I also think she's watched my channel for a while, so she kind of gets my idiosyncrasies and weirdo-ness. So I'm going to go back to Monday weigh-in. And they even said to me, are you going to weigh in on Fridays? They're like, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And then that way we're all still weighing in on the same day as well. So that's the other factor, is we are all doing this together. So it's more fun, actually, if we're weighing in. It gets confusing otherwise.
You're right. Yeah.
So tell us about your weigh-in day and kind of what you think about that. So let's start with Dakota.
All right. Yeah. So my weigh-in day is Monday. So it's coming up in a couple days. But we usually do like one midweek weigh-in on either Thursday or Friday morning. So I did do one on Thursday morning before we left to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was down 0.8 pounds.
0.8.
Yeah.
Did I know that? I'm so
I don't
confused
know.
right now. So
Yeah.
Dakota was down 0.8 right before
Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving.
So
And your weigh-in is officially on Monday?
yes. And I
Okay.
like the Monday weigh-in because it's just like the start of my week. It's easy to do before I get ready for work.
Yeah.
And then it's like taken care of. Then you just
Right.
do the plan for the rest of the week. So
Right. Yeah. And I'm not going to share their weights. We're going to kind of not share those types of numbers, but we are going to share how much our weigh-ins were and how much we've lost. And do you guys want to share a weight, like how much you want to lose total, or do you not want? You don't have to do that if you don't want. Just think about it for a second, but because sometimes that's a lot of private information out on the internet. And I'm really thankful that they want to share this stuff anyway, because it really puts you in a vulnerable position to come online and share about this, because you guys know this is a sensitive sort of journey that we're all on. So thanks, guys, for coming on today and talking about kind of personal things, health and body weight and all that. So far, Dakota has lost, and she's done 6 weeks now of Weight Watchers. You've lost?
well, if you include the 0.8, like 12.3.
12.3. And they're weighing in at home. So we'll clarify that as well. We're all doing the online right now. So we're not doing online meetings or anything like that. We're all just doing online. We're kind of using each other and you guys out there as our community in our meetings. So 12.3. So they're using it. So your scale at home does tenths?
Yeah.
So it does like the Weight Watcher scales does eighths, if that makes sense. So it'll always be like a 0.2, 0.4, no, fourths.
That would be.
Yeah, ours says tenths.
Nurse
Evens.
math over here. Right. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so awesome on that. Over 12 pounds now. Almost 12 and a half pounds now on 6 weeks on the plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have Judah, and Judah, your weigh-in day is also
Monday.
Monday.
Also Monday, so we're on the same day.
We're all on Monday now.
Yeah.
So I can share with you guys what's going on.
How everyone's doing.
Okay.
So
Judah this was his second week going on the new plan. Do you want to share what your weigh-in was for the week?
Yeah, I ended up gaining weight. I gained 0.7 pounds back.
Yeah.
After losing, I was at 11. I was at 11 and a half.
Right.
So now I'm about 10 something.
Yeah.
Lost.
Yeah.
But I did. I ended up gaining a little bit of weight back, switching to the new plan.
So we'll talk in a minute about kind of because we've been brainstorming the last couple of weeks about what we think about the new plan. And so we'll talk in a second about that. So Judah was up, but you're still down in 6 weeks, 10
something, 10 and a half.
10 and a half pounds. So bravo for that. And then I was the same this week. So middle of the week on Wednesday, I weighed in and I was down 0.8. And then after Thanksgiving, because I weighed in yesterday, and this is going to mess everybody up now, but I'm going back to Monday weigh-in. So you guys just bear with me. But for the week, I stayed exactly the same. So I'm down 11.2 in the 6 weeks. So, and that was after Thanksgiving. And Dakota and Judah got to watch me eat into my activity points for Thanksgiving. But I think I ate into my activity points because of my weigh-in change I was at the end of my weeklies by the time I got there, because we had date night last Friday and then we had Thanksgiving in the same week. So I kind of messed myself up, but that's okay. It's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday. We're all good. And we did really well with Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll go into what we like and don't like. But we decided to track for Thanksgiving, which was kind of fun because we all got to, keep up with each other. We found out that a tablespoon of butter is 6 points. Last night we're having leftovers and one of us decided to have butter, and we're like horrified, looking up how many points is a tablespoon of butter? It's 6 points, just so you know. But if you have the points, hey, go for it. And our whole mindset right now, the three of us, is we're going to eat the things we like in moderation. Mm-hmm. And so I think with their lifestyle as working professionals, they both work in a big city. And Monday through Friday is just crazy, and they're eating out a lot and cooking at home a lot and trying to meal prep. And then the weekends is fun time for them. Mm-hmm. They're going to really try to fit, they're making a lifestyle change. So they're going to try to fit Weight Watchers into their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I decided I wasn't going to give up bread anymore. So, and I do make choices not to eat as carby bread and that sort of thing, and make sure my bread has fiber and protein and stuff like that. But we like to go out to eat. So yesterday we went out to Panera for lunch, and we all got sandwich. Well, you got pizza.
I got a flatbread pizza.
So Judah got a flatbread pizza. You'll see this in the vlog that I'm uploading today. And I had I had the Mediterranean sandwich, and you had a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, deli turkey.
And we counted points and we moved on. So we're not going to do all this crazy restricting stuff, because ultimately it kind of leads us into a weird pattern. And so, Dakota, do you want to share about kind of your observations with doing low carb in the past and doing Weight Watchers?
Yeah. So if some of you have been around for a while, back in 2017, 2017 through early 2018, I lost 30 pounds doing it's called the Metabolism Miracle Diet. A doctor wrote a book with the plan. Oh. And it's pretty much keto, but there's certain parameters to it. So on top of being low carb, you could have a total of 5 carbs every 5 hours, and you had to eat every 5 hours, even if it was no carbs. And then there were certain rules on foods that technically have carbs that would be considered neutral. So broccoli and some of your vegetables that they do have carbs, but they have more fiber.
Yeah.
So I did that I started in the summer around August of 2017. Mm-hmm. And then really by the next spring, by May, I was down 25 pounds. But the problem was that wasn't sustainable long term, because I was not going to live my life eating 5 carbs every 5 hours.
Right.
For the next 60 years of my life.
Yeah.
So after I kept the weight off pretty much within probably 10 to 15 pounds.
You did a good job maintaining the loss.
Yeah, from 2018 through probably 2020. Mm-hmm. And then once I started working full time, got out on a job in the city, and we would all go out to eat for lunch. And that really kind of, and then we would eat out at home because we were both working and didn't have time to cook.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like cooking.
It didn't feel like cooking.
Yeah, when you're that busy, you don't feel like cooking.
Yeah. And what I've learned from switching to this program is that Judah and I are very different sizes.
Right.
I am 5'2". He is 5'11".
Yeah.
He gets 50 daily points a day right now, losing weight.
So Judah gets 50.
50 daily points
50.
I get
because
20.
he's a big guy.
Yes. I get
and
29.
He's a man. Yeah.
So he actually, with some like moderation, could eat that way twice a day and have no problems. But I was doing it with him, and I cannot. I am too
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
Too small.
Yeah. Well, and I think getting married too, like you guys had a lot of life changes. We went through
Yes.
the big P, the big C for 2 years.
Yes.
And so we were all home more.
Yep.
You both started careers.
We graduated college.
You graduated
Yeah.
college. You
Yeah.
started your
Yeah.
careers.
Yeah.
Dakota is an engineer. What kind of engineer are you again?
I went for construction management, and it's in the civil engineering branch.
So civil engineering.
And I'm a project engineer.
She's a project engineer. And so she went from being very, very active, riding horses, taking care of animals, being in 4-H. I mean, just doing all this stuff, being in college, walking all over campus, to a career, and getting married then, and marrying a guy who could eat twice as much.
Yeah.
You know? And so, and then Judah also went into a career. He works in
real estate.
In real estate,
The title industry.
in the title industry.
We're working all the time.
So they're both sitting, they're both working, you know, and then eating out a lot because their lifestyle. So I think it's been a big adjustment to figure out and realizing that while you might be able to do the low carb thing, he's not going to do that with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Judah was very successful on Weight Watchers before. Yeah. And so in high school, how much did you lose in high school?
It was like 25 pounds.
Yeah, he lost 25. He didn't have a lot to lose in high school, I don't think. No. I don't know that you got to your goal.
No, not quite, I don't think.
But eating as a high school guy, he was able to lose 25 pounds on freestyle, and enjoyed that because he could still eat out and eat the things he liked in moderation. So it seems like as a married couple, Weight Watchers works a little bit better as a lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah, because we kind of have to be on the same plan. There's still things we do differently, and he's definitely like, he still has to eat like more than I do, because he's just a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
But we can't go to McDonald's for lunch and dinner every day, or have pizza at McDonald's for lunch and dinner. I mean, honestly, he probably still could.
Yeah.
He had a pizza for lunch yesterday.
Could have had leftovers last night.
Had a burger for dinner.
Yeah.
So.
And we've been talking about that because you guys know my husband and I are very different. He's very slim. He doesn't really love food. He's a very picky eater. He could care less. I mean, he could just not eat and be totally fine. He's also got a higher metabolism. He's taller. And so, you know, I think it's great that you guys have figured this out like early on in your marriage and can make this sort of foundational for your relationship. That'd be great if you could do that together, because my husband and I still really struggle with, you know, dietary stuff. So kudos to you guys for doing that. And thanks for sharing, you know, that you're making this huge lifestyle change. So let me say hi to everybody over. Leslie's in here, and Melissa's in here, and Brenda and Bonnie, and Catherine and Janine and Donna. Hey guys, so if you have questions for Judah and Dakota, please pop them in the chat. So again, we've all just kind of restarted. We're doing Weight Watchers together as family. My husband is not doing My husband is not, but we're working on Asher a little. Asher's kind of watching us the last couple of days, like, And then we all went shopping yesterday. We did a little bit of Black Friday shopping. We didn't really go around a lot, but we went to like JCPenney and stuff. And Asher did say something because he bought himself a size large leather jacket. And he's like, oh, I can't gain any weight, or I won't fit in this. You know, just I can hear him talking about stuff, you know, and kind of watching us all counting points and stuff. And then, of course, my husband, he says everything is 3 points for him. So I'm like, honey, what are you eating? And he'll say, oh, I'm eating such and such. And it's only 3 points. And we're like, okay, sure. Yeah, everything is 3 points for my husband. So let's talk a little bit about personal points. Tell me what you guys liked about personal points when you signed up.
So I liked that there was flexibility and like the free foods, the 0-point foods. So I started and just kind of took the like assessment, and like I ended up getting like yogurt is one of my free like 0 point foods, and after like 2 days, it was like I don't eat plain yogurt.
You're like, I don't like plain.
So I went and
yogurt.
took the quiz again. I think it was the same thing with beans. Like I had first selected beans as one of my proteins, and chicken for the other. So I was able to go back and swap that to fish, and then swap the yogurt for popcorn. And that worked like really, really well for me. So I liked being able to make that change and have that as an option. And then, I mean, like he got beans. He got 3 proteins for 0 points. So he got the beans. But even so, like when we would make things with beans in them, it was like a minuscule amount of points for me.
So you guys actually liked that the points were personalized based on your likes and dislikes. Right. So you did like that.
Right.
But then probably the part that you didn't like is that because your lists were different, it was harder to like cook or something and figure out what you guys were eating together.
Yeah, because he would make a pot of like, we do a lot of either like tortilla soup or like turkey chilies. And he puts like 3 or 4 cans of beans in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you're splitting that over 6 servings, it's not a big deal. But for him, it's pretty much 0 points. I mean, it's very, very low point. And for me, it's usually closer to like 3 or 4 points for a serving, which is still low point. But it was like, okay, that kind of sucks because now like he can have tortilla chips and I can't, like that kind of thing. So
not only were you guys eating such different point amounts during the day, having the different 0 point food lists actually was harder to do at home for the two of you.
It was hard for 2 people together to base meals that way.
Which is why one of the reasons why I think Weight Watchers went back to everyone having the same 0 point food list is because that was the experience for people at home doing the plan together. Having different 0 point food lists was complicated. And I remember them talking about that when there was blue, green, and purple. In the meetings, people were saying, well, my daughter is on purple, my husband's on green, I'm on blue.
How do
we make something and we're all like, what's happening? So I think realigning the community and then people, and families and us all having the same 0 point food list is a positive.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, take this week, for example, for Thanksgiving, we all had the same. One of us would calculate the points for something, and then we all knew what to put in for the serving. We only had to do that once, and it was the same for all of us.
Yeah,
so that was great.
Back to Thanksgiving, we were able to lighten up a lot of our favorite foods, and then we all were doing. We all had different points allowances, but we all knew what everything cost, and so our plates may look a little different. But we all knew that, turkey breast was 0, which was really, really nice, which that was the same on personal points. But, but like we made mashed potatoes this year and we used chicken broth instead of butter or sour cream to make them really flavorful. They're not as creamy like that. We didn't put any milk or anything, but we all knew these were just potatoes. And, on personal points, some of us had potatoes as 0, some didn't. But it was nice to be able to say, this serving size is 2 points or whatever. So we made sure on our Thanksgiving table to have a lot of things that were really low point or 0 point. Like Dakota made a Weight Watchers recipe for cinnamon apples and sweet potatoes, which, on personal points, that would have been 0 for some of us. And for some of us, we would have had to count points.
Yes.
But we all knew, and we were able to look up the recipe on the app, how many points it was for all of us. You didn't eat any of that because he's not a sweet potato apple person.
He's not into that.
But she and I loved it. It was like basically like a baking sheet and just seasoned with cinnamon, and then we put a little bit of swerve on it afterwards to sweeten it up. So good morning, Rosie. Well, if you put questions over in the comments, we'll get back to questions or just comments that you want us to look at and read out loud. Just stick those over in the comment section, and I'm happy to go over those in a few minutes. So some of the other things we had on the table that were really WW friendly is we had 0 point homemade cranberry sauce. Yeah. We lightened up our green bean casserole by using the 98%, not 99%. I always say it's 99% fat-free, 98% reduced fat cream of mushroom.
That was very good.
Yeah.
It tasted just like the real thing. I mean,
well, Judah doesn't know that I've been sneaking that soup into our green bean casserole for years. So he's like, this tastes just like the regular. I'm like,
because
yeah,
it is
we
the
said-
regular.
Yeah,
Right.
it's always the same thing.
Right. And we only had turkey breast on the table,
Yeah.
which was nice. We used a combination of the turkey breast drippings because it was the breast that we roasted. We roasted a turkey breast, and then we had a smoked turkey that I had won through something. But we used the turkey breast drippings, and then we used the jarred Heinz turkey gravy and mix that all together. And it was 1/4 of a cup of the turkey gravy for a point. For one point. So we knew how much, the gravy was. The stuffing was not WW friendly, but we calculated points for that because it had a lot of butter in it. So there were a lot of things on the table, and we made a cheesecake, crustless pumpkin cheesecake dessert for us to have later on. So I feel like we had a lot of things, and because we were all on the same 0-point food list, we were able to track.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people decide not to track on holidays, but the three of us are just really trying to keep it together right now.
Yes.
Through the like our goal is to just keep it together through the holidays. I'm fine if I just don't gain or only lose a little bit, in the next month. I just don't want to hit January 1st and be up because that just feels terrible, So,
well, I would say it's not even about necessarily losing weight during the holidays. It's just about, I like to think of it as if I wasn't thinking about it, imagine how bad it would be.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being conscientious of what you're eating and what you're doing
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
So even if you end up gaining a little bit January 1st, like you don't need to beat yourself up about that.
That's true, Judah.
Because, you could have been up 10 or 15.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You could have eaten 4 slices
Easily.
of pie.
Right,
you
exactly,
know?
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just being accountable and tracking, even if you're 70 points a day, at least you were accountable and tracked and you know why.
Right.
Because I think one of the things that's always been frustrating for me is to have my weight going up and feel like I don't know why. Have you guys ever felt like that? Like I'm eating the same as everybody else. Why am I going up and they're not? But you don't have an awareness of what you're eating.
Yeah, you're not tracking things, or even sometimes like with the 0-point foods. I mean, like if you're eating like 12 cups of popcorn 3 times a day, that will start to add up,
Yeah, we had on Thanksgiving night, we made 0-point popcorn and in 16-cup bowls, So it was air pop popcorn. And I made the comment on the couch to Dakota. I'm like, I don't think this is 0 points if I eat the whole bowl of 16 cups of popcorn. And she just laughed over there. And so we tried to share some of it with the guys too.
Yeah.
But I did eat a lot of popcorn on Thanksgiving night. So hi, Marjorie. I just mentioned you a little while ago in the chat. So hello to Marjorie, who actually weighs people in at Weight Watchers meetings. So my friend Marjorie. So let's talk about personal points to now just Weight Watchers points. Okay. And we, we're like you guys, we all switched at the same time. I have an iPhone. These two have Android phones. And just so you know, I've been told that November 29th, there's supposed to be another, what is today, by the way?
20.
Oh, so we have 3 days.
6.
There's supposed to be another Android update because we're still noticing some discrepancies with our apps between the Apple and the Android. So what do you guys think so far about the new plan? And I'm just going to put it out there. My sense from the two of you is that there's some issues that we're having. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll start with me. So whenever the plan switched, I had like big problems, and probably due to the fact that I have an Android. Like the first day, trying to get it like to like even switch over, I was having issues with my 0-point food list not being accurate, and the app kept telling me like, hey, your 0-point food list has changed, and I'd go in and it was like the same ones from Personal Points. So it was like,
yeah,
no, it hasn't.
She's like, nothing is updated.
And then finally, like later in the day, and I mean, like I had to do my weigh-in and stuff that morning too. But later that day I went in and it had like taken, I was at 25 points, daily points, and it had taken 2 away. So I was at 23. And I was kind of frustrated about that because I had never had, none of the 0 point foods that were on my 0 point food list before are worth points now. So I had been doing like the 0 point foods on both lists. They aligned. And then they took daily points away from me. They didn't give me any more weeklies. Yeah. And then I found out that like at least these two had gotten more points.
Yeah. We got more daily points.
Yeah.
So even though I lost some things on my 0 point food list, I still had more daily points.
Yeah.
She lost 0 point foods and her points went down 2 points. So I got some frustrated. Actually, both of them were texting me about hers. She was like, you better help us fix this. We're having problems, And I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do?
Yeah. And then I know that he got like even more daily points, and then your weeklies stayed the same, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he has so many points.
Comparatively, yeah.
Comparatively, yeah. He has more than twice the points I do in a day.
Yeah. So definitely a frustrating transition.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do was to adjust her points and see how it goes. And she made the decision to go ahead and go up on her points. So the way that you can do that, if you feel like you need to make a personal adjustment on your points. Now, remember, with Weight Watchers, you really have to make sure that your weight loss is your guide. Yes. And we're going to talk about that with Judah in just a second. So if you adjust your points in the way that I'm going to tell you, and your weight loss slows down or stops, or you start gaining weight, you're going to have to reevaluate. Okay. But we already knew that she was losing weight well.
Yes.
And for us, healthy weight loss, according to Weight Watchers, is 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week is the range that you should be in.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be expecting to lose 5 pounds a week. That's not how this plan works. This is a lifestyle change plan. So,
and I had kind of regularly been losing in a full week more than 2 pounds already.
Yes. So she was kind of going a little fast.
Yeah.
And she wants to be able to maintain this. So what you do on your app, just so you guys know, if you feel like you want to take this into your own hands and adjust your points, you're going to go into your settings, and under your food settings, which is where it says, do you want to maintain your weight or do you want to lose weight? If you go to the maintain weight, I'm going to try to show this to you guys in here. If you go into what's called maintain weight, and you click on that, you can adjust your points to whatever you want them to be. So, and it will just kind of stay there. Okay. So Dakota decided to adjust her points and see how it would go this week. And so she adjusted her points up to 29 for right now, because we're also kind of functioning on this information that's been out there for a while, that a point is roughly around 50 to 60 calories by the time it's all said and done. And so if she's at 29 points, she's somewhere around 1,500 calories a day. And she decided to give that a week and try not to really eat her weeklies and see what would happen. And she lost again. She may have to adjust, up and down for a little bit here and see how that works.
Yeah. And I will, I'll add on to that I've been kind of every week I was going through at the end of the week and averaging like how many daily points I'd used. And it was averaging between like 28 and 31 a day, even when I had 25 points a day to use. And I still had like so many weeklies left at the end of the day, and I was blue dotting every day. So I felt comfortable doing that because I knew that my average was right in that range anyways. And I don't feel like I have to use all of my points. So, I mean, like I'll go usually like some days I'll be closer to 25 points, and then some days I'll be like at 30, 32. And it, again, all averages out to about 28, 29. So that hasn't been an issue for me.
So if you feel like you're losing weight too fast, which can be a problem, or if you're stalled out or you're gaining weight, and you decide that you want to work within your own. I mean, we're paying for this. We're the consumer, this tool. So work the tool in a way that works for you, and obviously consult with your doctor and whatever else is going on. But so that's the decision that she made, and it's serving her well. We'll see how it goes.
So far, yeah.
We'll see how it goes, right, in the future.
Yeah.
And I think for Judah, so tell me what you're thinking about your point range right now and what's going on with that.
So I went up 3 points a day for my dailies, and then I
Yeah.
kept my weeklies the same, or it did. I ended up gaining a little bit that first week just because I think I was eating all of my dailies, and then I ate all of my weeklies.
Yeah.
And he
One-
does have activity points that roll in every day as well, which I
Yeah.
think that,
And then I was
sometimes
eating
we
into
don't think about.
I was eating into my activity points probably.
Yeah.
So I ended up eating a lot that first week, I think is what happened.
Yeah.
So this week I've just been a little bit more mindful of it. I'm not eating all of my points every day. I have a couple spare. Even yesterday with the butter I did.
He ate butter yesterday and still had points left over. Yeah. Well, and he made a really good point. Yesterday. He made a point about his points yesterday. He said, Mom, I got 3 extra points a day. Okay. He said, times 7, that's 21 extra points for the week, and if you times that by calories, that could be 1,000, 1,200 extra calories for the week on top of his activity rolling into his weeklies. And then do you have rollovers turned on as well?
No,
Oh, you don't?
I have
Okay. He has
rollovers.
his rollovers turned off.
He's pretty
So-
good about using his daily points. So
Yeah. So I think that he did some math
I'm
and
sorry.
was like,
You mean the daily rollover? What do you mean?
yeah, the daily rollovers.
It's like up to 4 points a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have that.
Oh, he does have his rollovers turned on. So anyway, it's just a lot of points to deal with. So I think noticing, okay, my weight went up. What do I need to adjust? Do I need to go in and adjust my points? I think in his case, not yet. I think he's still going to
want to see what it looks like.
See what this looks like over the next week. But I think maybe if you had another gain this next week,
look at it. Yeah.
kind of look at it and figure out. But that's, his decision to make. So, and then I'm, right now, basically I'm the same weight, not because of the plan, but just because it's Thanksgiving week and because, we changed our weigh-in date, and I think Marjorie, you were right. I think I messed myself up a little bit. So Judah and I are not going to mess with our points right now. I get 30 points a day and 28 weeklies. And so I think this week the focus is going to be on, again, going back to Monday weigh-ins, and then just staying within my daily points and trying not to eat all my weeklies. I can eat some of my weeklies and lose. I've been doing that.
Right.
That's not really the issue because I'm getting a lot of activity.
Yeah.
And I ate some activity points this last week. And that's a rule of mine not to do that. But for Thanksgiving,
we wanted alcohol.
we wanted wine.
We all wanted alcohol.
We all wanted wine. And then Asher was making us like a special Christmas citrus drink or something.
All different kinds of
I don't
drinks.
even know. So we decided to factor that in. So we did go into our activities. Okay. So Sarah has a question. With your special diet, a couple days a week, would you, would you consider doing points plus again? Love points. And I just started on healthy. Why this plan? I mean, Sarah, that's a great question. So thank you for the honest and genuine question. So I wasn't a huge fan of points plus. Now, the plan that I like is the original plan, the very first 1, 2, 3 success plan, which is calories, fat, and fiber. And I'm not really adverse to doing that again, but I want to do the same plan as them. So right now we're doing this together. Initially, it was funny when I got back from Italy, I decided to sign up for Weight Watchers and try personal points just to shake things up because over the summer I did do healthy and have done really well on healthy. And so I just wanted to shake things up and do something a little bit different. And I had a gain from traveling. So I decided to do personal points and then they jumped on board. And so now we're all just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I do love those old plans and I absolutely love the healthy app. And I'm not adverse at all to doing that at some point if this isn't working for me. My sort of outlook is that the Weight Watcher plans all work if you work the plan. I think sometimes with the newer plans, you really have to, it's like what we're talking about, kind of adjust and think about it a little bit more than we used to have to. But So on some of the older plans, you can feel a little bit more restricted. And one thing I like about the newer plans is that they do give you like 0 point proteins to fill up on if you're hungry. And I think the newer plans steer you towards those more filling foods. So there's pros and cons to all of it. My stomach is growling, by the way. we're having Judah went and got us coffee, and so we're both having skinny vanilla latte.
Yep.
And mine's 3 points.
And I think mine's 2.
And hers is 2. So if you're wondering what we're drinking, we're doing a Starbucks per Judah. You went and got a Starbucks this morning, which was really, really nice. So great question, Sarah. Yeah, and I wasn't really a Points Plus fan. So anyway, let's see if there's any other comments over here. Let me see. Okay, Rosie says, are you walking daily and counting steps? I am trying to walk daily. If it's pouring out rain, I've been going over to the gym. I do count steps. My activity points are not going into the Weight Watchers app. They're going into my Healthy app because I still have the Healthy app. And that I ate those the other day. So I ate the activity points. And they're on the Better Balance. They're going into Better Balance, which is actually freestyle. So they're probably calculated differently. This is a lot of mumbo jumbo. And I think you have to be around the plans for a while to kind of get what I'm talking about. But so yes, definitely tracking steps. Are you guys walking? Maybe Rosie's asking you guys, are you guys getting some activity? Are you tracking steps?
Well, yesterday we all went on like a 40-minute walk. So that was really nice after dinner.
It was a long walk, yeah.
Between the rain.
I would say we're not doing dedicated walks or anything crazy.
Yeah.
We get a lot of steps at work. Honestly, trying to get a lot more steps at work.
And then my like workout for the week is my ride. I ride horses once a week, and I usually on those days get an upwards of like 12,000 steps. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually doing 2 lessons next week to make up for like this week because I couldn't ride because of Thanksgiving. So
you have a lot of steps this next week.
And that's not just like, I mean, it counts. I track it as steps because my watch picks them up as I'm riding the horse. But I mean, it's a lot of like core engagement and a lot of muscle engagement too. So it's like almost like using like your body weight as like strength training.
Yeah, horseback riding. Yeah,
it's a tough workout. Yeah.
And it looks, so she does dressage, horseback riding, which is fancy.
It's fancy.
It's very fancy.
It's one of the Olympic events.
It's Olympic event type thing. And the horses like dance.
Yes.
It's so cool. They're very, very cute. And her horse right now, the horse that she's riding, what's his name?
His name is Zeppelin, and he goes by Z.
He goes by Z.
Yes.
And he likes horse treats.
He does.
So,
yes.
So very, very fun. And I think like we've been talking more about making small sustainable changes. Mm-hmm. And I think that getting into tracking every day and making these food changes is such a huge thing to focus on.
Yes.
And it's a really good place to start. I think if you try to throw all this other, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be active at all, but I'm going to work out every day and I'm going to drink water every day. I'm going to track and I'm going to do. And then if you miss any of those, it can lead you into feeling really frustrated and burnout. So I think for them initially right now, because this is such a lifestyle change, is tracking and eating within the points.
Yeah,
is the big focus.
And I'll say that like I actually haven't been able to ride the last 2 weeks for various reasons, and I was pretty concerned about that because like when I started this plan, I was actually riding twice a week. Not really on purpose, but I just had 2 events come up on the weekend. So I was riding twice a week.
Yeah.
And then like I had, really big losses, and then I was riding once a week, and I still had like similar losses. So then like the last 2 weeks when I didn't ride, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? Like my activity is like so much further.
Yeah.
Like so much lower than it has been. It was fine.
You're still losing, even though you didn't ride as much.
Well, because at the end of the day, it's you take in less calories than you know.
Calories in, calories out, for sure.
Yeah, and I didn't feel the need to like eat more points because I wasn't as hungry after my ride. So, I mean, it worked out. But I'm probably going to start riding more, so I'll have like at least another extra day of activity a week or every other week. But yeah, I'm not too worried about trying to fit that
just cooking
into my
dinner.
day.
Cooking dinner and cutting out the fast food has really helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we've been talking about, it really is 80% diet, 20%, you can't like walk, run, exercise and off an unhealthy diet, or you can't counteract that an unhealthy diet with exercise. It really has to be that you watch your portions and, focus on healthier options and that sort of thing. And then add in the activity. So great question. That was a great question. Let me see. Marjorie says, lose it the way you live it. And Marjorie did great on her Thanksgiving week. So yes, lose the weight the way that you want to live. I think that is such a good tip.
I think that's what we're trying to do now.
Yep.
And I mean, we've been able to tell people that it hasn't been like that difficult of a change. Because I mean, we're still able to eat things that are really good. And it's not like there's been like a couple times where I'm like, man, I really, want a burger tonight or something.
Yeah.
But really haven't like missed much of anything.
It's like yesterday, we went out to Panera and Panera cookies are delicious. Well, Panera now has these little mini cookies and they're 2 points a piece. And it was fun because we all got to have the mini Panera cookie. We didn't feel like we were being deprived because we had a cookie, and we got the taste of the cookie, but it was within our points. Yeah. So I think I think that's exactly it, is losing it the way that you want to live, and maintain it as well, because maintenance is such a huge thing. So Stephanie joined yesterday. Looking forward to doing this with us. Yeah, I love it. Fabulous. Deborah's also doing Weight Watchers with us, so I love that. Hi to Judy, my friend in Canada. Although, Judy, I think you're in Florida right now, traveling. Rosie says, Christmas is in 3 to 4 weeks. What's the plan from now until then? Good question.
Great question. So I think we're going to continue on
keep counting points
the way that we've been doing. Now we're like very, very busy around this time of year. So even
they have so many Christmas parties.
Yes. So this upcoming weekend, I have 2 options on what I can do on Saturday. I can either go to a bunko party with my church group, or yes, or I can go to my corporate Christmas party. So I'm not sure which of those I'm going to do. He has a bachelor party for his best friend that's getting married.
That'll be fun to count.
Then the next Friday, we have my church, White Elephant Christmas event. So it's like bring your own dish type thing. So that'll be fun to count for.
So what is your strategy? Because this is sort of a new holiday season. What's the strategy for all of these parties?
Right. So I think
just plan ahead.
Well, yeah, what we need to implement is really focusing probably on like low point meals throughout like the week leading up.
And save your weeklies.
And save weeklies and make sure that we have
you can enjoy your party and
because a lot of these we won't even know what's being served.
No, you gotta be prepared.
Yeah, you gotta be prepared
for anything.
So yeah, but from every weekend now through Christmas, we've got some sort of event where they will be feeding us.
And it'll be the same thing with Christmas. It'll be
Yes.
having weeklies available and
Yes.
getting low point leading up to it.
Yeah.
So any tips on holiday, gatherings and what you guys do, please post them in the comments for Judah and Dakota, because they'll go back and read those, and that will help assist them. And we really rely on the community. Like, I rely so much on you guys for your feedback and tips and tricks, and especially the last few weeks, you guys have been so helpful with like setting me straight and being like, no, this is the way things are, and do this and try this, and your messages and everything, your emails just really mean the world. So if you have tips or tricks, I know that one thing I do before a party is that I eat something that's plan friendly, that has a lot of protein before a party. Smart. Because for me, going into a holiday event hungry, and then you're faced with all these amazing things. It's game over. Judah just said it's game over. Yeah. So that's my little tip,
Yeah.
So, and I only have a couple of parties. So, let's see. Other questions. Great questions, guys. Brenda says, what a beautiful family and a great idea to pursue this goal together. I love that. Catherine is doing Weight Watchers, 23 dailies and 21 weeklies. Great, Catherine. So best wishes to you on that. I love it. I feel like a lot of people have 23 dailies.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that from a lot of you guys who've messaged me and said, my points are 23 dailies. So a lot of people doing that together. Leslie says the newest Weight Watcher plan calories is going slow but steady. Okay, Leslie, great feedback from you. So she's on this plan and she said it's slow and steady. So any other questions, let me know. And we'll answer those in the comments. But so far, my plan is to continue on. And it actually feels better, like getting back on track like yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving to me felt a little, there's just so much temptation. Did you?
That's true.
There's pressure.
I would say I agree.
We made it through in one piece.
And even with a family that's supportive and we made all these things, my parents bought a nothing bunt cake, which we all love the icing. If you've ever had, it's called nothing bunt cake. And it's a really moist bunt cake. You can get all kinds of flavors. But it has like the best cream cheese icing frosting on it.
It's so good.
And so that is here at the house, which I was trying to figure out if I should freeze it or chuck it or
burn it. Yeah, burn that.
So I actually didn't have any of that.
I didn't either.
You guys had that pie.
But we did have apple pie.
Yeah.
Yes, we did have a little tiny.
We had apple pie.
Like a third of a piece of apple pie, and counted the points for that. It was like 9 points or something, just for a third of a piece of apple pie. But it's still kind of stressful because you have, you're really relying on habit, which we're all, trying to establish these great habits, and then self-control. And you find at the end of the day that you don't have as much self-control, which is probably
plan ahead.
Why the butter hits you upside the head.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I feel like it feels better to be back in control. And then they will be at Dakota's families for Christmas. So she'll have to figure out how she's going to navigate that situation. You guys will have to figure that out.
Yeah, thankfully my mom does like pretty traditional foods, so she loves turkey. So we do turkey as well as ham for Christmas, and then she does like traditional green beans, and usually there's other sides, and we can always like make whatever we want.
Make something healthy to bring.
Yeah.
And she's super supportive.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They've noticed they're getting a lot of support outside. Like Judah's, you want to tell them about your boss?
My boss saw me drinking water every day, so she bought me some Crystal Light, the lemonade Crystal Light, to make it.
He loves lemonade.
And she told me she hates water, and that is what helps her drink water. So I was like, thank you so much. That was so nice of her.
So shout out to Pat, Judah's boss.
Pat.
And then all of my coworkers are like very healthy and active. So like when we sit around and eat, like we're all eating like chicken for lunch. So
good. Yeah. That's really great.
Yep.
Yeah. One thing that I think you guys had to ditch was the crumble cookies. We ended up looking up crumble cookies. That's like the new thing in our part of the country is this place called Crumble Cookies. And the cookies are what, 50 points?
Yeah, something like
60
that.
60 points a cookie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So things like that you're like, well, switching that out for something else.
Like the Toll House chocolate chip cookies are like 8 points a piece or something.
And they're so good, and it's so easy.
Yeah, like if you have to have a cookie, find a alternative that's still delicious.
I like Oreo Thins.
The
4
Oreo
of those
Thins
for 7 points.
So
that's
4
good.
Oreo Thins for 7 points. Yeah. So that's a good question. Is like, what are some of your favorite foods right now that you guys are eating that kind of keep you on plan?
Oreos.
Oreo Thins.
He does. We also have the double stuff because you can have two double stuff Oreos for 8 points.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
There you go.
And sometimes even for me, if I just want an Oreo and I have 5 points left for the day, I'll go eat an Oreo, and that's all I need. For Halloween candy, I got like the little fun size like Skittles. Those are 4 points for a package. So sometimes I'll have 1 or 2 of those after dinner, and I've been enjoying those. And then we have really been enjoying salmon. That's one of our favorites right now. We try to have that like once a week or every other week.
Yeah. If you've ever been to Mod Pizza, if you go to Mod Pizza, you can bake your own pizza. You can do like half of it for
Mod?
MOD.
MOD.
It's like Pizza Subway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mod Pizza. I haven't heard of this, you
I think we
guys.
have one here, but they have a it's called a no-name cake. It's
It's like a ding dong.
It's a ding dong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll split that in half,
And that's 8 points each. But it's an actual it's like this big.
Oh wow! And you split it.
Yeah, and it has a little bit of frosting in the middle.
And they're so good.
Yeah.
We'll do things like that.
And
Yeah.
Judah's been using the 2 to 3 bite rule, which is an old school Weight Watcher rule, which is, and they've actually done a bunch of scientific studies on this as well. But after the first 2 to 3 bites, you actually have had like the endorphin, serotonin rush from the food,
From the sugar, yeah.
and you satisfied the craving,
Mhm.
and you don't need any more. And so he's been finding that if he has, a treat or something, comes into his perimeter and he has a couple bites of it, it's satisfying, and he can
You're
put the
good.
rest
You're
away.
done. That's it.
So I think that's a really good tip too, is if you absolutely have to try or have something like that cream cheese icing. I had a little spoonful of the icing on the cake because I was like, I don't need the whole piece of cake. I don't really even want the cake. It's just the frosting,
want the
and then
icing.
count for the
Exactly.
frosting,
Another thing is we roasted like fresh green beans, and he
that sounds
has
good.
been loving
Love
those.
those.
He loves
Roasted
those.
green beans.
So we found, and I've never had them roasted because my mom we did the canned, and she would cook them with onion and bacon.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I love that you guys are balancing out like some healthier things with like treats.
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of the way to do it, especially if you're, going to do this for life. And
well, and that's the way that we're able to do it. When we have like salmon and green beans for dinner, we're able to then have
Oreos for dessert.
Yeah, have Oreos. Yeah, balance it out.
Low carb breads. I like there's a Sara Lee like 45 calorie multigrain bread. And I think it's about the same points as the Oral Week keto that we've been eating here.
Yeah.
So I will use that for sandwiches with turkey breast.
We had turkey sandwiches last night on the Oral Week keto bread, which is 1 point per slice.
Yes.
Which I really like the keto bread from Aldi, which is less. I think it's 2 slices for 1 point. But we didn't have that in the house, and so you like the Sara Lee bread. Yeah. I really like the Joseph's pitas from.
See, I think we need to try those.
Walmart. I think you guys would like those, and the Extreme Wellness. But some of the things that Judah said he's been eating out recently that that he's really enjoyed is Chipotle bowls.
Yes, we both love burrito bowls.
Burrito bowls.
I have been trying to get him into burrito bowls for 2.5 years.
Yep.
And he's just been like,
Well, I like a burrito.
Now
I like a real burrito with a tortilla.
Eats them at least once a week.
If not twice. If not twice a week.
If not 3 times a week.
And then what do you guys get? You said you like to go to Chick-fil-A. What's point friendly at Chick-fil-A that you enjoy?
The nuggets. Honestly, you can get the grilled nuggets for 0 points, or you can get the ones with breading, and they're not too bad.
They're about 1 point a piece or so. So usually what I will do.
They're about that big, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a typical order for me, if I want if I don't want the grilled nuggets, then sometimes I'll even just do like the 12 count of nuggets by itself. And like, that's so much protein.
Yeah, that's true. And it's 12 points. Yeah. You get a lot of protein.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do they still have the fruit cup there? I have
they
not
do.
Been to Chick-fil-A.
It has mandarin oranges, which are in a syrup. So it actually is like 1 point or 2, depending on the size.
Good to know.
But also, their fruit is very expensive. So I wouldn't recommend.
Okay, it's too expensive. Fruit. Okay, so if you get nuggets, do you get fries or you just get the nuggets?
So I don't, because I just don't have enough. That would be all of my daily points. Yeah. But what I will do, and this is something that I used to do all the time anyways, is we get free deliveries because we order so much Chick-fil-A that our local location sends us free deliveries almost every week.
Your platinum Chick-fil-A
signature members.
I didn't even know that existed.
5-star members.
Yeah. So we get it delivered a lot.
Something wrong with that, Judah.
And the fries were never like as good, and I'm kind of picky about fries, so I never liked the fries much being delivered anyways. So I will actually usually do the yogurt parfait and grilled nuggets if I want like a side. And that is also like 11 points. So
okay, so the yogurt parfait,
and I get the one with, so there's a yogurt parfait. It comes with like blueberries and strawberries, and it's in a Greek yogurt base. And you can
Oh.
get it. The one with cookie crumbles on it is like 11 points. It has Oreos on top of it.
Yum.
The one with granola is more points.
Okay.
The one with granola is
More points than the Oreo one
Yes.
at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do the 0-point nuggets. If I feel like I need more food, I'll do
Yeah.
the 0-point nuggets and then the yogurt. And I think the yogurt has like 13 or 14 grams of protein in it. So I mean,
wow.
yeah. And I've been ordering weird like that.
So
for
grilled
years.
nuggets, but then get the parfait.
I
Yes.
see, like Leslie says, she got all that for $14. It is kind of
Yes. I mean, like, the
Leslie.
cup is like $4.50.
It's expensive.
Okay. So Leslie Jones just posted, I got the grilled nuggets, the fruit cup, and a drink yesterday, and it was $14.
Yes.
This is why I don't eat at Chick-fil-A a lot.
Yes.
And why I don't get Starbucks a lot, because
Yeah.
I'm, cheap now. But yeah, if you're gonna get a treat, or
Yeah.
they have an extremely busy lifestyle. Like, you don't even get home in the evening, so what, 7?
Yeah,
7?
some days it's like that. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
So they're doing a little bit more eating out than we are, just because of they live in the city and their lifestyle is just traffic, basically. The worst
Lots of
traffic you
traffic.
can possibly imagine is
Yes.
what they deal with on a daily basis. We also like Panda Express, and so we've been getting the bowl, the one entree bowl, and you like to just get super greens.
So I'll do it a couple ways. If I want rice, then I'll do the rice, and I'll do like the string bean chicken or the mushroom chicken. I went Christmas shopping earlier this week with my younger sister, and really just wanted some orange chicken. And the orange chicken is 18 points.
18
by
points
itself.
for orange chicken from Panda Express is what we're talking about.
So I did the super greens with it. And that was actually really good. I really liked that. But that was definitely not very point friendly. Like, usually the bowl is less than that with rice and chicken. So,
right.
But I just really wanted orange chicken.
But you wanted orange chicken, and you made it work, Dakota.
You
You fit it into your plate.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then, okay, so what do you guys get? Because I know you said you go to Subway.
Yes.
What do you get at Subway that's point friendly?
So I do a 6-inch. I only eat 6 inches at a time. Sometimes I'll do like a foot long for another meal. But I'll do a 6-inch on Italian. Pretty much all of their breads are like the same. So I don't even mess with trying to get like wheat bread.
The wheat bread, yeah.
Because it's all the same. So I get a 6-inch on Italian. I do the turkey breast for 0 points. I do provolone cheese, spinach, olives, and cucumbers. And then none of our locations actually carry like the light mayonnaise. So it's to the point now where if I'm taking it to work, if I'm getting it at work, then I'll usually go ahead and do like the 5 points for their mayo.
Yeah.
But like the other day,
5 points for mayonnaise
for the mayo
at Subway, you guys.
Yes. So
that's insane.
When I'm taking it home, I just use our light mayo at home for like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
So.
And I like their sweet onion teriyaki dressing.
I don't think I've tried that one.
I like to get at Subway the veggie. So I usually get the veggie. I don't get any cheese. And then I get the sweet onion teriyaki on top. So kind of depending on if I get a foot long, it could be anywhere from around 12 points, something like that. Because I don't do anything. I just do it's basically like a salad on bread.
Yeah.
So you're basically paying points for the bread.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Judah, give us some tips on what you can eat out as a guy on plan with points. Tell us what we're going to focus on Judah for a second here.
Oh, the problem is I try to cheat the system.
He cheats the system.
Not cheat. I play by the rules, but it's a game, right? I kind of turn it into a game. So for Chick-fil-A and things like that, I'll do a sandwich.
Yeah.
And instead of fries, I feel like it's not worth it. It's not going to keep you as full for as long. I'll get nuggets with it, which is like the same amount of points.
Yeah.
Which costs $400.
But it's not too bad. But
it's probably only 14, like what Leslie played. Yeah.
And the diet lemonade. I love the
lemonade. He's big on the diet lemonade.
And the diet lemonade is the large is 3 points.
Right.
Just so you guys know, I'm really bad about counting points for that lemonade. I'm going to tell you right now. This is like an old school, back when I was in the original Weight Watchers plan, I would always get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, just the original sandwich with extra pickles, and I would get a lemonade, and I would count. Back then, it was 7 points for that. And that was what I ate. And I still will do that if I go to Chick-fil-A. Now, I haven't been to Chick-fil-A. Well, we went and got a diet lemonade this
Last
week.
night, yeah.
But anyway, okay, so
Subway, I'll do a meatball sandwich with the fresh mozzarella because the fresh mozzarella is a little bit better than the other cheeses that they have.
okay, so give that tip again. If you go to Subway, the fresh mozzarella as opposed to their
Just the normal mozzarella, like the shredded
The
mozzarella.
the shredded has less points.
The
Yes.
fresh one has less points.
Okay.
So I'll do half of a 6-inch meatball, and that's 14 points.
Yeah.
Basically, I try to maximize the amount of food I can get for as few points as possible.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
And that's what you did in high school, because we have talked a lot about volumetrics, which is eating higher volume of healthier food to, increase satiety and maintain fullness. And so and that's basically Weight Watchers right there. 101 is that they push you towards what they call filling foods, which is also volumetrics, which is foods that are higher in water content, higher in protein, higher in fiber, that keep you satisfied longer. And so Judah's working the system.
I'm trying to work the system, and it's working well.
Yeah, it's working well. So,
and I've learned that I am satisfied with a 12-count nugget or like one sandwich from Chick-fil-A, and I don't have to have anything with it if I don't want
as long as
it.
you're satisfied, then you're good to go.
I've noticed that I don't snack. Like, I don't really need to go back and get even like 0-point popcorn or anything after dinner. Like, I'm fine.
You're good.
You're feeling more satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that there's a mental component to that is because you're eating the things that you like too.
Yeah.
And so I remember when, just doing some of the lower carb stuff is, even if you feel satisfied, you still are thinking about, oh, I wish I could have.
Yes.
A
Or
piece
you have to eat. For my case, I had to eat something every 5 hours because it was like it was also kind of like a glucose thing. So it was like working with your blood sugar and how you metabolize food.
Yeah.
So
and that plan worked. It's not that the plan didn't
it
work.
worked too well, and then it wasn't sustainable.
It just was hard to sustain.
Yeah.
And I have a friend right now at church, and he's done a lot of plans that have worked. So he did Optavia, which worked great. He lost a lot of weight, couldn't sustain it. He couldn't sustain it on the weight loss because I think he had to eat so few calories that when it came to maintaining, he just couldn't stay within that calorie range to maintain the weight loss.
Yeah.
And he was just talking to me recently about going carnivore. And I said to him, if you look online, guys, there's lots of people that talk about, I don't know the health stuff with carnivore, so I'm not going to advocate for any of that. But there are a lot of people that have successfully done carnivore to lose weight. And I said, yeah, but is that going to be something that you can maintain for the rest of your life?
Right.
Like, that's my concern is it's not just about the weight loss period. And then also, what are the long-term health effects? I don't know about just only eating animal products is what he's talking about doing. So no shade on him. I'm just giving you guys an example.
Yeah.
And there are people that have done great on that plan, but as long as you can, first of all, be healthy, is it a healthy plan? And then also maintain.
Yeah, that's the best part about, I think, doing this plan is that you learn how to live within like the boundaries, but we still eat at Chick-fil-A, we still eat at Panda Express, we still eat at Subway, we still have pizza, and that won't be too hard to continue on, for the rest of our lives doing.
Now, here is sort of the caveat to that, and I'm just being really candid, is once you do Weight Watchers, you have to realize that tracking is going to be part of your life forever. And I think that's what Judah and I have realized gaining weight back over the years, is that once you stop tracking, you lose the accountability and the awareness, and the weight will come back on because you slowly just kind of go back to old habits, or you're not aware, or whatever.
You still think about it.
So, and that's the thing I think you guys, all of us need to realize, because that's been my downfall in the past, is that the minute we lose the accountability and the tracking, we're going to gain the weight back, So my lifetime friends out there, which I have friends that are lifetimers and have done these amazing lost, 100 and something pounds. they all say tracking is key, even in maintenance.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be
And
committed.
it comes to a point where, I mean, you know, like, oh, okay, like you've done this enough that you know kind of some of the limits and the things that you eat regularly, you know, kind of what.
Yeah. But I think
what that
tracking and then
entails.
also weighing in.
Yes.
And not avoiding the scale.
That is something that I definitely started doing
Yeah.
pretty soon after I got married and started like gaining weight back. Was I was like, I bought a new scale like 2 years ago and didn't
get on it.
Maybe wait in twice until, you know, we started Weight Watchers. I went an entire year without getting on a scale, and thankfully, like, I had somehow maintained.
Oh wow,
somehow,
Dakota.
I don't know how.
Well, I think that's a red alert for us. Judah, I don't know if you feel like this too, is when we stop getting on the scale.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about daily weights. I'm just talking about a check-in with yourself about
not getting on a scale for a year is freaky.
Yeah, not getting on a scale, and you know your clothes are a little tighter.
Exactly. I've had to buy new clothes.
And you're like, oh, I'm just not going to get on the scale.
Well, and that was part of it too. Was the scale said that I was, you know, I weighed about the same after a year, but I had gone up a whole nother clothing size.
Oh wow!
And I was like, I had just gone up another clothing size like this summer.
Oh, is that what kicked you into I got to do something?
Yeah, and I was like, and I got on the scale and I was like, oh God, like. I'm gonna be like over 200 pounds because I was kind of right at that limit and I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was like,
good for you for stopping.
Dakota. Somehow I've maintained this weight, but like I've still gotten bigger in other ways because my clothes are too small.
For sure. That's a wake up call. Yeah. And I think getting back on the scale, because I know a lot of you guys are restarting now and I would really encourage you not to wait till January 1st, only because I'm just talking from experience. I've done that. And then I've gotten on the scale and it was a lot worse than if I had caught it earlier. Yes. And I'm so glad you caught things before you hit that 200.
Yeah. That's what that's kind of why I've been avoiding the scale for a year, because I was like within like 8 to 10 pounds of that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to like see that. So I'm
I don't want to see it.
I'm just never going to weigh myself
again. Ignorance is bliss, you know? And then I think when you do get on the scale and you're like, oh, you know, it's hard to get on the scale and just come to terms with where am I at? And we all know, we feel it.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely feel it. And so I know when I've gone up, you know, and it's hard. So I think tracking and then also making sure that you're accountable to yourself with that data.
Yes.
Because it is data. Okay.
Which I am very data based, so that's not a problem.
You're not a problem with data based. And Judah just is like, Judah is my happy-go-lucky kid. So he's like,
just make it work.
I have to strong arm him.
Yeah, you have to strong arm. But, you know, even my husband, you know, he gets on the scale. And my husband, we go through big fasting periods due to our religion. And so right before the fast, he always gets on the scale and has like a moment of, you know, because he tends to gain a little tiny bit of weight around his middle right before the fast. And then he very strictly does a religious fast and gets that weight off. And so my husband has an 8-pound fluctuation that he does during the year. And it's with the feasts and the fasts of the church calendar. But he's good about stepping on the scale and just doing things. You know, it's interesting to watch a skinny person and how they live their life out. It's very interesting. He could care less about food, you guys. I'm serious. Okay, so we're not going to get into that pitfall of stopping tracking. Dakota, I've really noticed, I want to give kudos to you for tracking before you eat.
Yes. I try to do that. And it makes it easier for me because it's less stressful because I know what I'm consuming.
I feel like I do well most of the time, but the last couple of days I've been tracking after and I've been like, if I had tracked before,
you would have stopped yourself.
I probably would have, or I would have done half the portion or something.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, you had me tracking while I was eating the apple pie. So I was like, okay, you know, so, and not going back for more. I think that stopped me from going back for more apple pie. So great job tracking before you're eating. And did you want to share? So do we want to talk about how much weight you guys want to lose total or do we?
Yeah. I'm looking to lose 50.
Jesus wants to lose 50. My stomach is really growling. Sorry, I haven't had anything to eat today.
So I think my goal is closer to 60, but We'll see.
Play by
I'm really short, so my technical like healthy range
How tall are
is
you?
really
5'2". You're
Well,
5'2".
I'm 5'2".
Dakota's 5'2". Judah's
5'11".
5'11". I'm 5'9". So, and I have a total of 120 that I want to lose, and so I'm still kind of in this. I'm right around 50, somewhere in there that I want to lose additionally. 50 to 60. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out once I get to a
That's
certain
about where I'm
point.
at too.
So,
We're at the beginning.
but we're kind of all in the same. It's nice. It's nice to, be doing this together. Let me see if there's any other comments and we'll close it out. So Susan, my friend Susan Thompson up in New York says, lifetime here, tracking becomes second nature. So yeah, I think it's establishing that good habit. That's a good point, Susan. It's a habit that we're establishing.
Mm-hmm.
She still weighs in once a week. Don't let myself gain more than 5 to 8 pounds. Yep. I keep my profile picture at my starting weight and it's on my fridge. Wow.
Wow.
That's commitment. I love hearing from my lifetimer friends out there. You guys are just amazing. And you give me so many great tips and ideas. Deborah's working on 45 pounds. So Deborah, you're in the club with us.
Yeah.
We're in that
Right
somewhere
in that
in the
area.
50, 60 pound club. Deborah also asked, what about keto? Do you guys have any thoughts about keto?
So I did it. I was very successful on it. I was at about 150 pounds at that time and lost technically 25 pounds on keto.
Wow.
And then another 5 to 10. I was comfortably sitting at 115 pounds, but I also was in college. I walked to class. I would go spend 45 minutes on the elliptical almost every day.
Wow. I didn't know you were doing the elliptical every day at college.
Almost every day, yeah.
Wow.
For a semester.
I missed that part of your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were busy.
And it just wasn't sustainable. And I found myself kind of trapped in a pattern where I was not eating enough calories. So then by the time I was at 115 pounds, we were talking 900 calories a day was probably what I was averaging. And that's just not, not safe. It's not healthy. It's not safe or healthy. So and then for me, not sustainable for you. For me, I could not, I kind of had to get myself out of that cycle.
Oh, wow, Dakota. Okay. Yeah. So maybe went a little too far with it. And I'm glad.
And I think that can be a concern from keto because all of your lean proteins and lean, a lot of your low carb foods are also lower calorie. I mean, obviously you can add in fats and stuff, but I mean, things like avocado, they don't keep very well. I would usually shop I would do a huge shopping trip once a semester and buy bulk meats and stuff. And maybe once a month or once every 2 or 3 weeks, I would go back for more stuff. So we did a lot of frozen vegetables and stuff. And it's hard to keep enough fats to actually maintain more than that calorie goal. So,
yeah. So basically she's saying keto wasn't sustainable for her.
Yeah.
And I know people that have done it and have done really well and they can sustain that lifestyle.
Yeah. It didn't, I did not do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody was there to kind of hold me accountable and say, hey, you need to fix this.
I think with keto too, there's so much information.
Yeah.
And all the macros and all the video. I mean, it's almost how do you wade through all that? It's
That's
not
true. Thankfully, I had the one book. I did the one plan, and like I said, it wasn't
the metabolism plan.
The metabolism miracle. If you do want to look into it, there is some. The interesting information about it was that there are people who metabolize differently, and people who are more likely to be insulin resistant, or people whose insulin works differently in their bodies. And I still feel that part is true, that does. And I can kind of see it across my family. My mom's side of the family, we have a lot of insulin resistance and diabetes, and some of that is not even necessarily dietary. A lot of it is kind of this hereditary thing, but that particular plan was just not sustainable for me. So I've kind of
I feel great lower carb like that.
Yeah.
My problem is that I would cycle on and off of that because it's really hard to maintain.
Right. And at 20 years old, I knew that I just couldn't do that for another 60 years.
Right. So. And how I would love at 50 to be 20 and figuring this out.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are figuring this out.
And what I have learned through doing Weight Watchers is that for me, really, it was just the fact that I was like overeating. I was eating at like the same level as him for 2.5 years, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's not even like I'm having an issue losing weight. You know,
No.
I'm just like not.
Well, you're in
eating
you're like in a
3,000
realization
calories
mode.
a day.
Yeah, you can't do 3,000 calories.
Can't do that.
Yeah, and Relentless Pursuit of Shade says, yeah, 900 calories is way too low for any adult. Glad you realized that's not for you. Yeah. My friend Kitty in Cornwall, she says it's raining. The sun kind of came out a little bit. You
Yeah,
guys. You
the
can
lighting
see
improved a lot.
we're lit up a little bit here.
Yes.
So great talking to you guys all. You know, I've enjoyed this little chat. Thanks for your questions and your comments and all of your support as usual. If you like videos about Weight Watchers, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. It always helps with, you know, just giving me some feedback. Like, okay, keep going, Amy. And like I said, I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm going to try to put some sort of video out every day until Christmas.
We're gonna call you if we don't get a video.
Yeah. But we're planning on doing our weigh-ins on Monday, so I'll keep checking in with you guys with the kids and weigh-ins. They'll be back at New Year's, and we'll do like another little live recap of how Christmas went and where we're all at. I think that gives us a good touch point. So look for that maybe New Year's Day.
Yeah, bringing in the new year.
Well, I'll bring Judah and Dakota back, and we'll see how they're still liking the plan.
Will that be on Monday?
What?
It might be on Monday.
No, New Year's
it might be.
Sunday.
Okay. I was going to say, maybe we'll do a first of the year weigh-in.
Yeah. But if you have any like tips or tricks for them or ideas for them or encouragement, you know, please post them. They look at my stuff and I communicate with them often.
That is why I started Weight Watchers. I saw her Instagram, her first walk and talk that she'd done in like 9 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, Judah, I'm gonna do this. And he was like, okay, then I better do it too.
Yeah. And I think just just having that community and family do it is wonderful. And you guys out there are wonderful too. So very thankful for you. Thank you for all you've done for me here in the Weight Watcher and healthy living weight loss community. I know I have a lot of you guys on doing Weight Watchers. You know, I support you as well. Drop me a comment and I'd love to hear from you all. Take care out there. And I will see you guys later on the channel for a vlog from yesterday. We vlogged.
We did.
Black Friday vlogging. So I've got to get that up for you guys. I'll see you guys later. Stay in orbit. Bye, everyone. See you. Take care. Yay.